So everybody just pay attention to where you hold your limiting belief. Okay? See if you hold it in your heart, in your gut, in your neck. It could be your legs, it could be your whole body, whatever your limiting beliefs are. Notice how your body holds it. And just like in the demonstration, when I say follow the breath, just be aware of your breath. So I'm tuning into the group here. Okay, and the first thing that comes up, ancestors' fears. Okay, so just follow your breath, just set an intention to let go of ancestors' fears from the body. Okay, now what I want you to do is to set an intention and let go of ancestors' grief. Now have an intention to let go of any type of ancestors' conditioning or responses with not feeling safe. Follow the breath to let go of that. Follow the breath and let go of any type of responses with ancestors not trusting life, fear of trusting life. Like there's, struggles made them not trust, or they had some bad experiences, made them not trust. So follow the breath to let go of those experiences. And now what we want to do is to have an intention to touch into any type of more painful experiences, like it could be your own or your ancestors' traumas. Okay, like I said, trauma could be something like a fall, or it could be worse, like abuse or something more difficult. So set an intention and connect to the unconscious and touch into that pain. Touch into that pain, touch into not feeling safe, touch into ancestors' resistances with not feeling safe. Touch into any type of ancestors' attachments. When they suffered and experienced pain, they created attachments. Touch into those, what's behind the attachments, just by your intention. Touch and feel into any type of like anger responses. Anger responses that they suffer, life was not fair, life didn't treat them right. Okay, touch and feel into it. Not they didn't feel loved. Touch and feel into that. Follow the breath. Let go of these responses that's held in your heart. You could just even, by intention, just like energetically kind of take them out from your heart. Like your own energetic fingers are grabbing any type of conditioning, negativity, darkness, and pulling that out from the heart. Pull grief and fear out of the heart. Any type of not safe from the heart. Anything connected to not trusting. And also, by your intention, you could pull it out from your bones too. Take out the responses from your bones too. Any type of ancestors' anger, also down in your bones, and then also your cells and DNA. And then I want you to do a reprogram just by your intention, with also your breath, and then say to your subconscious, to your body, to your heart, to your cells, your DNA, to your bones, and just say, What if it's safe to trust more? What if I could trust more? Trust life more? Trust even when I got hurt? What if it's safe to trust that that life loves me, that life is unconditional? What if it's safe to trust that? What if it's safe to trust that more and more? Okay, trust that fully. So as you're doing that, and if there's any resistances come up, continue to pull out the resistances from your heart. What I'm also getting is there's some resistances held in the face. So also pull that out from the face too. Take that out, let it go from the face area. Let go of any grief in your face. Let go of any sadness held in the face. Fears held in the face. There's fears of being vulnerable, okay? When we suffer and we're dealing with our challenges, okay? Fears of being vulnerable. There's wounds behind the fears of being vulnerable. So touch into those wounds about connecting to the feminine principles of life, about connecting to your feelings. Fears of looking bad, being ashamed. Okay? Take that out from the heart. Follow the breath. Let go of that from the heart. Let go of that from your face. Pull out any type of responses held in the face. Let go of grief held in the face. Not feeling safe when you're vulnerable. Ancestors and the collective. Ancestors and the collectives were not feeling safe. If you're part of a collective that, they have to be always strong. And I mean, being from a Chinese culture, everybody's about putting on a strong face. If you go to China and here too, it's like putting on a strong face. They don't want to be shamed. So you want to hide yourself, your weaknesses. Okay. There's nothing wrong with like being strong or keep it going. But within loved ones, if you want to have a meaningful connection with someone, sometimes it's okay to have some vulnerability. Like with a person that doesn't have your mind, your best interest in mind, you don't have to be vulnerable, right? But if you want to have a loving connection with those that you care about, you want to have a little bit more vulnerability. Okay, so keep following the breath to let go of not resistances to being more open, having more vulnerability, opening your heart. Touch and feel into those resistances. Keep touching and feeling into those resistances and wounds, ancestors, collective wounds about being programmed that I shouldn't show any vulnerability. Okay. So one principle I talk about is accepting what is. So when we have a lot of thoughts like, I should be like this, I should be tough, I should be strong, I shouldn't cry. When we have a lot of should and shouldn't type of rules about life, very hardened, rigid beliefs, that causes suffering. Okay, so follow the breath to let go of your attachments to shoulds and shouldn't type of rules about life. Okay, if our system becomes very rigid, then we have more suffering. So follow the breath. Let that go from the heart, from the face, from your bones. Rules about I should and shouldn't. I shouldn't be vulnerable. I shouldn't, I shouldn't have emotions. Some people even are dealing with that. I shouldn't be emotional. So follow the breath, let go of any type of resistance there, and then keep following the breath, let go of grief. So we're going to do a reprogram for like being fear of vulnerability. So just with intention, we program the heart, cells, DNA, bones, and say, what if it's safe to trust, even if I feel some vulnerability? What if it's safe to trust, even if I feel some pain? What if it's safe to trust, to acknowledge that I'm going through pain? So if you or your clients are in denial and not even willing to acknowledge means you're simply shining the light to say, yes, I'm dealing with something difficult, rather than just, there's a lot of well-intentioned people doing positive thinking that that shut other people up whenever people are kind of connected to their vulnerability. Don't think about negativity or don't be negative. That doesn't work because you don't fully process the conditioning. You want to fully feel and then be able to process, be able to let it go, let the emotions come out. So with some, business owners, executives, what they're doing is they can't even have tears. Okay, so part of the work what I'm doing is over time is to retrain them so that using this process, using the reprogram, that it's safe to have some emotions, safe to have some vulnerability. That's, we all know it takes at least 90 days, sometimes to develop new habits. So yeah, that's what you wanted to be aware if you have some hardened patterns of condition. How did everybody do? Any feedback? Anything you'd like to share?
Warm.
Warm?
Yeah.
Yeah. And your belief, did you feel your belief loosened up or feel different or?
Yeah, I feel lots better.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay. You want to share?
Body at first it was really subtle, but then we were tapping in. As it started here, and then I started feeling it.
Yeah, one of the techniques here, it's called follow the pain. Every time you work on a different layer, the body is moving to the energy is going to another area of the body. And then just by one of the processes, follow the pain breath technique, just by, if you feel something, you put your attention there, and then if you process it, it could move to your head, it could move to your back, it could move to just, so within the session time, I don't know how long you guys are doing your sessions, sometimes I do 45-minute, 90-minute sessions, then within the time, I just try to do as much as I can in the time I have, or you could do longer workshops or retreats to help someone process. Yeah, that's one of the processes here that you just explained. Any other comments, thoughts, or you want to share? Yes. Yes, if you do feel strong sensations, you will feel some type of discomfort. So a key to keep in mind here is that if you are going through something painful, don't see it as a bad thing. It's something deep. If you have a deep belief, it's something deep that's shifting, and it's okay to be with it rather than like seeing pain as a negative thing. So yes, there could be something going down the line. I mean, this is a short session as we work on it. There's nervous system responses that we can go deeper on to work on. There could be wounds held in the conditioning, held in the nervous system, and then we could look deeper in there, sometimes in the spinal cord, different things like that. So yes. Did you want to share something?
I really like this protocol, especially with something like vortex healing that can invoke some powerful responses in the body. But here, instead of you just doing it for the person, you're having that, helping them to assist them to make the change. And again, to do it in these layers that they're involved in. And though, as you said, there can be some responses. I feel like this can really
Yeah, great. Thanks for the feedback. So one of the techniques I call, it's very simple. It's simply, if you can read somebody's subconscious response appropriately, because everybody's subconscious response is like a combination lock. And by using the protocol, if you can read it correctly, then you're dialing in the correct responses, and then the issue just drops. That's why Moss, that went to the practitioner, said that it's a very gentle process. It's designed to be a very gentle, loving process. So, yes. Anything else? Any? Yes.
In your book, you're talking about your protocol, you're not talking about how to diagnose that level.
The book gives you some basics of that. If you really want to have me train you in the way we do it, everybody can learn how to do muscle testing on their own. There's tons of videos on YouTube, but we just do it in an intuitive way. And I spent a whole day training people how to do it, and then the practitioner's program is like 9 weeks. So in the past, I just launched the practitioner's program like a year ago, but even after 15 years, because in the past I only did like 1 day, 2 day trainings, but I never got to see people over time and help them make adjustments. But in the 9 weeks when I work with people, like they just pick it up. It's just kind of like if you're following somebody around for some time, you just kind of pick it up. Like Sarge, he came the first time to the conference and he went to the program and he just went into it and did a demonstration. We have an exhibit, by the way, so you're welcome to come by. You can check out these books, check out the techniques, check out the principles that I kind of summarized. The principles is like you could use it as a rapid clearing, like to dial into somebody's responses very quickly. That took me just thousands of hours to kind of figure out. So it's a very quick, intuitive checklist. And there's actually 30 to 60 minute sessions, demonstrations, like what I just did up here with that lady and with everybody here, like 18 demonstration sessions in the other book, the Principles book. So you could educate yourself that way. If you really want me to train you, we're happy to train you.